This is something I wanted to talk about for a very long time, and this is basically the buffs for the cowboy and how it pretty much changed the meta for early starting towers, I guess. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about it. So first off, what the hell am I talking about? So basically, before the golden or just general cowboy buffs or whatever, this cowboy was quite honestly only really used with his original stats, aka without the golden effects or whatever. And with these golden effects, he had pretty decent damage, was around 500 bucks I believe, in order to place down, and was generally a pretty good tower. However, obviously the better version was, well, the gold tower, or variant I guess. And with these upgrades, with like cheaper upgrades, or not really cheaper upgrades, but much more expensive upgrades with much more damage, it was all pretty good. However, the main big problem about this guy, which as far as I know, was just about how much less money he really gave, but also about how much he costed in order to place down. Now, back then he costed around 700 bucks in order to place down, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what it was, since it's been like, what, a month or two ago? And that might not seem like much, it's only 700 bucks, and if you're in the community group, you will get an extra 100 bucks, so in total, you would have 600 bucks, and you would only have to grind 100 bucks in order to place them down. However, this wasn't really good enough for people, especially all of us, because I mean, like, why would you want to save up money in order to place a tower down when you could just place down a tower immediately and get some more money, or at least be able to defend? So really, the Golden Cowboy was just kind of an underrated and really forgotten type of golden troop, since really everyone was focusing on golden scouts or golden soldiers, and also like wardens and gladiators, because I mean, like, why would you want to save up a bit of money for like a wave or two, or just, you know, after a wave, or like your teammates killing the enemies, when you could just place something down immediately and just get the money already, or, you know, just kill fucking enemies. But then the massive buff came in. This is where it changed everything forever, or at least for now. And basically what happened was they decreased the Cowboys place money thing from, what was it, 600 or something like that for the regular cowboy to like 550, or just 500 to 550, I can't remember. And then they pretty much gave a massive buff to the Golden Cowboy by making it from 700 to place down to 600. And this is where literally the meta shifted dramatically. All of a sudden, Golden Cowboy was used everywhere. Literally in every single game, you would see at minimum 1 or 2 people having either a cowboy or a G cowboy. And this pretty much was a good thing for the cowboy. However, for all the other troops, like for an example, the warden, or the most obvious ones, the golden scout and golden soldiers, this was a problem for them, because now all of a sudden people are just like, oh, why would I want to go for a troop that is obviously way cheaper to place down and has pretty okay-ish damage, when I could just place down a troop that takes all of my money, however does very good damage at first, 3 damage per shot, which is the G Cowboy, and also gives you money in return, and at level 2 it is the best it can ever be, with 4 damage per shot, or at least DPS, hit points, whatever you want to call it, and 50 bucks every 6 shots. Why wouldn't you go for the G Cowboy? Now, the only real reason you wouldn't want to go for the G Cowboy is, well, because you don't have them. Then you would have to resort to either the Golden Scout or Soldier, or just the other melee troops, or just some other random troop that costs less than, well, 600 at least. And this is where the main problem is pretty much surfaced. Why would you either go for other troops that are a little bit cheaper but just don't do as much as nearly as a Golden Cowboy? Now, you could say that this is oh, obviously it's because, I mean, he's just really good and he's an advanced tower, so he's supposed to be that good. But then again, these golden troops are all supposed to be very valuable and very crucial for all, like, a very specific circumstance. Like, as an example, the Golden Pyro is very fucking good at taking down multiple enemies in a row, and he's actually really good in the Badlands mode. However, is also extremely good in special events, because, I mean, those events are pretty much developers are just spamming enemies. So Golden Pyro is amazing there. Golden Minigunner is really good at pretty much whenever, dealing highest amounts of damage, being able to place down an infinite amount as you you want, literally there's no reason why you shouldn't be going for minigunner. And then there is the G Soldier and G Scout. They are perfect for early games and kind of do okay for the rest of the game since they have pretty low damage, or at least do pretty good damage, I would say. But the Golden Cowboy is 10 times better than them, with both financial gains and, well, DPS gains. First off, at max, the Cowboy does 24 damage, or at least hit points, at least that's what I remember, per shot, and not only that, gives you like 200 and something bucks every 12 shots. Like, it is insane. So really, it kind of makes the other two, you know, Golden Towers redundant, because like, why would you use the Golden Scout or Soldier who is just 10 times better than them? And that's where the problem arises, where these Golden Soldiers and Scouts are just kind of useless when you have the Golden Cowboy. Now, I think this is something that is only me thinking about, but at the same time, people are just like mixed, because some people are like, oh, Cowboy needs a nerf, or nah, Cowboy is fine right now. That's just because Golden Scout or Soldier are good in like different loadouts, or like, you know, for people's, I don't know, styles, I think. But anyway, that's just my thinking. I believe the Cowboy is just way too good, as much as I love to use them in pretty much every single game. I haven't seen one person use a Golden Soldier or a Golden Scout ever since this Golden Cowboy buff, or at least Cowboy buff. Well, apart from this game, which was very surprising since that was the first ever time I've seen someone using a Golden Scout. But aside from that, I have not seen anyone, and I played hundreds of games, and I'm surprised that no one's using them. But it's kind of, you know, reasonable, because I mean, like, why wouldn't you use the Cowboy when he gives you so much money and does a really good amounts of DPS? So I'm probably thinking this guy needs a nerf, like as an example, maybe decrease the amount of damage he does, or maybe make it to where he's a tiny bit more expensive. But then again, if that were to happen, then he would just go back to his old self of being very, very low picked and kind of a troop to where the regular Cowboy is just better than the Golden Cowboy. So I would suggest that you would probably decrease the amount of money he gives to the player and also the damage. And aside from that, I think he might be able to be just balanced enough to where the Golden Soldier, Cowboy, and all the other melee troops could be just as, you know, popular and top rated as they used to be. But for now, the Cowboy, I believe, is a bit too good. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what your opinion is down below, and there's a good chance I'll fall asleep before reading it. But anyway, bye bye.